Hi guys, so today I'll be reviewing this 60-piece set of Arteza's EverBlend markers. They were kind enough to send these for my review and use here. And I forgot to mention in the last video that they also gave us a 10% off coupon code that happens to have my name in it, so it'll be in the description box. So they did send these items free for my review. All opinions are my own, and the links that are associated with this and some of the items I'll be using are affiliate links, which means I will make a small commission if you use those links. So thank you so much for the support. And people were curious about this. I know a lot of you guys already ordered these just when I started showing other Arteza items and, you know, with the different sales they have here and there. So I know you guys have these and I've been, you know, wanting to try them out myself. So it's basically their alcohol ink marker. Again, EverBlend, because you want to blend your alcohol ink markers. This one happens to come in this awesome case, and I've reviewed the case before when I had shown you guys my review of the larger real brush set, which I love because now I use those often and try to use them as often as I can. I really like them. So really cute, really nicely packaged here. Let's open these up. So I want to use them on a project right away, like right now, because that's what, you know, us card makers and scrapbookers and paper crafters do. This is really nice. Just a quick little kind of chart here. Again, I don't know how true to color the actual colors that are on here are, because I don't know that I'm going to swatch them all out here on video. I will swatch them and have pictures at the end, but, you know, just here in front of you, I mean, well, yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to do that. But again, I love this case. You guys already know that it's nice and sturdy. It has a carry handle here. They do sell the case separately if you're interested in just the case, but this is nice. I love the way it's set up because I know I had other, you know, watercolor pencils or like colored pencils that were in a array that I wasn't really sure what was going on, so I kind of rearranged them myself. But I do like the way they have it here. So it starts off with peach, pale peach, and then your blender, and then it goes from there to your deeper colors. So these two are kind of random here, the purple and the red, and then it goes into blues and some more kind of tannish colors, blues and greens and yellow, yellowy orangey, deeper and deeper and deeper, and into your pinks and purples. For me, looking at this right now, I love this here because I like those colors because we do a lot of flowers, a lot of leaves, you know, just pretty things like that. If you're like a portrait kind of drawer or skin color, you know, needing those kind of things, I'm not sure that this has that many, but I'll try some just real quick on a scrap of paper because basically we're just going to jump in with these. But I'm just going to pull this guy out. Again, this opens up on the sides and you can lay it out, which I love. You guys know I'm a fan of this carrying case. So yeah, I really like it. And then this whole middle section comes out too, if you want to take this out. And this does have slots for some extra whatever you might want to put in here because there are 60 of these and I believe it has 72 slots in this pen case. So I just really quickly want to try some of these things. So let's look. This is Jasmine Yellow. It has a chisel end and a bullet end, and we'll see what that's about. So yes, this kind of like your sketch bullet, end here. Smells like alcohol ink. Very nice. And then this side is more of a firm nib. And there's that scratchy sound there. So that's not bad. So I was trying to see if that might be a skin color. Hazelnut brown. Might be okay. Not that, you know, I'm just jumping in on that because I want to see. We have peach and pale peach. I'm assuming those are like your lighter tones. So let me try a little bit of peach. That's almost like a tan color, like what a lot of times they call tan. And let me see about this pale peach. Yeah, so if I was to use those two to blend with a lighter skin tone, I would probably use those two. With this one, I'd probably find something else that might start it off. We'll see. Again, grays, purples, burgundies. Really nice. Let me see this one real quick. I like that color. That's sienna brown. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just jump in with a project. So again, they're like a triangle shape so they don't roll off your surface, which is really nice. And today's actually is going to require, I think what I'm going to do is going to require more of the brown shades. Let me think about what I want to do. I was going to do this one. Oh, you know, I can do that because it has the pink. So I'm just going to use these little Art Impressions stamps. I'm going to try this one because it's cute and it's a fun little project, and hopefully we can get it done kind of quickly. So I'm going to use obviously the alcohol inks to color this in. They do have some other different sets, and Art Impressions, I think they've lowered their shipping to free if you order $50 or more. So that's, I think it used to be $75 or more. It comes with brads, but they also carry the extra brads that you might need to complete your projects after you run out of the brads that are in this kit. So what I'm going to do is grab some Crafter's Companion paper. I use their stamping paper again. Nina is really great, but this is, I have plenty of it and it's nice and thick, so I'm just going to use this. And we're going to need some alcohol-proof ink, and we'll get this stamped up, and then we'll start coloring in with some of these great colors. Okay, so I picked out some colors. I'm going to keep them here to the side, but let's go ahead and stamp this out. And I guess it depends on when you're watching these. These are currently on sale. Let's see here. I'm just going to stamp these individually, but I'm going to color them all at once. So we're just going to ink this up. Again, this is alcohol-proof ink. So cute. I could have stamped that a little harder, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to stamp up the tails. Very easy, very simple in this one. And one tail is going to be colored for the one doggy, and one tail is going to be colored for the other guy. And I guess we have to give it some thought, because if you color them wrong, they're going to be facing the wrong way. Alright. Nope, I'll put those on the wrong side, that's fine. Okay, so let's see. So again, normally you do a light, a mid, a dark shade, and some of these don't really have what I would consider a light, mid, and dark shade, because I don't know how I would blend them together for that. So I don't really need all of that. So for one of the dogs, I'm going to color him Koala Gray and Cloudy Gray, and I'm going to use the little bullet side, and I just want to show you, like, here's Koala Gray and the Cloudy Gray, and I think those, I'm sorry, this is Koala Gray, we just use Cloudy Gray. So Cloudy Gray is a lighter gray color, and I think, let me get a little bit closer, we're going to be good with that. So I'm going to start off with Cloudy, the lighter gray, and I always like to keep this in front of me just so I can kind of reference what I want to do. So like the little gray guy, I'll probably make him be like this. So this is the tail that I want to color in, and I'm just going to start with my light color. This one doesn't really have a lot to shade, but I'm trying to do this all at once because I do see streaks building up. That's better. So what happens with alcohol ink markers, you always want to lay down enough ink that it goes through to the back of your paper. If it does not show through the back, it's not saturated enough. And that's just for you to get a good blend. There's a good saturation. But of course you can do whatever you like. And this is going to be the underside of the little tail. So I'm just going to color this side a little bit deeper. But really, like I said, there's not really a lot of chance for shadow here. So they blended pretty well. I don't even know that I need to go over another time, but I will. And that makes it a lot deeper, right? That gray. So we could have gone in with a lighter gray to begin with, even a lighter one. Okay, so it's coming back through the back. This is such a small thing, I don't really mind. I don't need that much of a blend is what I'm trying to say with that guy. So I want this guy to have that tail, so this guy needs to be gray. And I keep forgetting which one is which. Cloudy Gray is our lighter gray. And if I really... Let me try to select one lighter gray and see if I can find a third color that'll go with these. The color I would select for this one is this Fog Gray. It's very light. So I'm going to start with Fog Gray and pretty much do his whole head. We're going to do sections at a time so you don't have to... So I'm going to color in all this. I'm going to skip that little middle part of his head. And this time I'm using circular motion because this is a larger area and I want to have a nice blend here. So we're just laying down some color. And then this time my mid color is the Cloudy Gray, and I'm just going to take this and go where I think it needs to be, which is basically under here. There's not a lot because the sun's coming in here. I don't know. And I'm just going to blend that out again. with my fog gray. I think I'm gonna have to go in with that cloudy gray and pretty much darken him up because of that. So let's just say this would be lighter here. I'm just gonna come in and just darken up this whole area. I know I did something a little different. It's just that I realized his tail is basically this color, so we gotta come in here and do this. And maybe I'll leave a little bit of like light hitting the very top of his little ear there, you know? Yeah, interesting. I'm just coloring this whole thing. And then let's do koala gray and just kind of come in where it might have little darker spots. I'm just going over his little eyes again, back in here. So there's not a lot of shading going on with this guy. Alright. And again, if you needed that lightest third gray color, it would be fog gray. So I'm going to continue coloring. So maybe this will, yeah, maybe I'll do that fog gray. Just doing his whole little hand here, or paw, should I say. So his little tummy can be a different color. I'll make that light gray. And I'm going to go in with koala gray. And again, wherever it needs to be darker, just add a little shadow here and there. Back in here. And bring in my cloudy gray again and blend that out. As far as blending, I can see that it's doing a great job. Again, this is so basic, there's not a lot to kind of blend and play with. And I'm going to go in with that very lightest fog gray in his little tummy area here. And I'll probably color this too, just to give him a little bit of color. I could have just kept it white, but making it kind of basic. Okay, then I'm going to do his little paw over here. How are you guys doing today? I hope everyone's doing great. And then we're going with the koala gray. And add a little bit of depth of color in here, maybe a little darker, like where the shadow might come in here. And back in with the koala. Sorry. Yes, cloudy gray. And I think that's it. It looks like that's his little collar, which I'm going to make both their collars red because I want a pop of color. So I'm just going to come in, and this is just ruby red. And I'm just going to use the same color to kind of build up color on the shading. So I just let that alone. I'll come in here and then just go back over it again. That'll just give it a little bit of darker color right in there. Hopefully you can see that. Really easy. Oh, his little paw. And the reason I'm making this red, normally they don't have little red paws. It's just I'm copying like what they're doing here. A little bit different. He does have some little red cheeks, and this kind of scares me, but might as well. Might as well. Aw, that's sweet. Okay, obviously that's blended out a little bit differently, and yeah, I guess you could blend it a little bit more if you wanted to go in with the cloudy gray. And what I would do is just touch around the edges of that red to blend it a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to do the second little guy with the brown shades, and I'm just going to fast forward that part because it's going to take a little minute. But it's basically the same techniques I was doing. Put down your lighter or your mid color, then go into the darker color, then blend it back out with your lighter or mid color. And I'll be right back. just finishing up with the sunflower yellow for the little gold here. Now, again, some of the colors skip from one to the next. I don't know how I'm supposed to blend it, you know, super well. And this is the very chocolate brown, and they're almost black, so I do like that. I like to kind of come in here and touch up some of this stuff. He's got a little red tongue. One other thing I noticed while I was working with it, and I forgot to mention, is that the bullet nib has the color strip right here, so it's easy to, when you see it, you say, oh, okay, that's the one I want to use. Because most time, for like 98% of what I do, I use the bullet tip. I hardly ever use the sketch side, but it's really nice and pigmented. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to do for these guys. So what we need to do is cut them out. Again, I could have gone a little bit more saturated, but this being so basic with the things that I was coloring here, I didn't need to do that. So what I'm going to do is cut these guys out, and we're just going to assemble our card real quickly, and then we'll talk a little more about the performance here of the markers. But let me get these guys out. So when it comes, obviously the first time I've used these guys, they still come attached. So the other thing you need to remove from here is this. These are two different pieces, so do not misplace that. And then we have these little guys here. And I'm going to, ooh, oh, thank goodness. So when things fall, it's like, oh, I can't find it. I'm going to place these here and here and here. And you can also see through the little holes to make sure you have this set up right, but I'm just using like the edge here to make sure I have everything where I need it to be. I'm going to tape these pieces down and run them through my, probably through my marquee just to cut them out real quickly, as you can see there. And I will be right back. We don't need the other pieces yet. Okay, so just to finish up the card, I'm gonna use a standard A2 size card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. Again, just fold it in half. This is just plain old Recollections paper. And of course, you can score it at 4 1/4, right? And then I'm going to use this piece of champagne or pretty colored paper. It is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And you can run your pull tab through both papers. Like let's say I stack this one on top of this one, and it would make it a sturdier place for it to go through, which would be really nice, but I'm just going to go for it. So we still need these two little guys. And what these are going to do is help you assemble the rest of your project. So I'm going to detach that. This is just a piece of paper, and I'm just made up the size. I don't know. It's 3/4 by 3 inches. The instructions on the stamp set will tell you about this. And it does tell you to make it about 3/4 inches wide. And this is by 4, and I did by 4, but it just seemed very big for what I'm trying to do, so I cut it a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're going to take this guy and put it here. If it ends up needing to be by 4, I'll do something to change it up. But for right now, we need this for our pull tab, and I'm just putting it kind of towards the end here. And we're just going to run that through real quick. And then we need to make the slits for our pull tab to go through. And I just die cut a scallop circle, and I'm going to do it on that. So this guy, I'm going to keep this tape on here so I don't ever lose this. Basically, just weaken that paper because I ripped part of it off. That's our pull tab. And then this guy, you need him wherever you're going to put this. So it just depends. I'm going to put it a little bit lower. Here are our little guys. Actually, did I not run these through? I haven't even run these through yet. I'm so silly. I took a break, obviously, talking to my kids that are awake and doing things, and I hadn't even cut these guys out yet. So cute. So what it does, it pops out 2 little holes. Hopefully you can see those. 1, 2. Okay. And then we need our little tails. And they also have 2 holes in each one. Oop, I cut that one a little bit too crooked. But that's okay. This guy. You know, I'm going to redo this one because I don't like that. It's too much that I cut crooked. So I'm just going to make another one real quick. So yeah, it was just too much. And like I said, you can see through the die. I just kind of eyeballed it. But if you look through the die, you can see the little dots. So you can line it up better, okay, than I had done it quickly the first time. So we have these guys, and basically the setup is this little guy, and this little guy, right, on the back. So if I turn it over, I'm just going to turn it over, just have it ready, but let me poke the holes out, okay. We're going to take our pull tab, and I'm probably going to make a little dove at the end just to make it look cuter. We'll see. And we need a little bit of twine. It doesn't matter what color or what, or any kind of string, whatever it is that you want to use. So it doesn't matter what color you use, just need a good little amount. And what we're going to do with this is go ahead and string it through. Front. Back. And then we're going to take this little guy, and we're going to go through the, I call these the innermost because they're on the inside, right? But the one that's just out. Okay, on the inside. You see that? And then this one too. Go on the inner one. And before we tie this together really tightly, you're going to put like something in the way, like a pencil or something a little bit to give you some space, because you're going to need that slack. So just put, and it tells you all this in the instructions there. So I'm just pulling that. I'm not pulling it too tight because I feel like you need a little bit less. But I will put a couple of knots. And then we're going to cut that off. Okay, so that's going to give you a little movement. And then we're going to bring this over here. And all we're going to do here is put our little brads. So again, the kit comes, or the stamp set comes with a few, and then you can pick up some more if you need them. But they're just like micro brads. And you can do this however you like. I've seen people like tape this just so you have an idea of where it needs to be. But you can just pick it up with your hand. And right there. Pop them through the holes that are open, and then do not squish these super hard. So for now I'm just doing a little bit, but not too tight. And then this one goes over here. And again, not too tight. And that's as much as my little guys are going to wiggle. That's what I was saying. So if you want to do a little more slack in this, you'll be able to pull it down further, then go ahead. But, you know, they recommend a pencil. I'm like, maybe you want a little bit more than a pencil width. But look how cute. Okay. And then, now that I have it put together, I'm kind of going to eyeball where I want to put my little slits to hold this guy. So basically, like the first one can go like up here somewhere. So all we're going to do is put it with the cut side facing down. You can do this with an X-Acto knife if you rather just, and it's easier for you, then do that. But I'm going to run it through the marquee, and basically one here, run it through, and then that same one I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it like down here, just like a ½ inch lower, and run it through again. So I'm going to have 2 slits when I come back. So again, I have my 2 little slits there. And you can put your adhesive on the back of this right now. I'm going to put it through here first before I do anything else. So again, one's going to go in this top part, and then push through to behind there. You're weaving it in here. And I'm just going to tuck that in. You can leave it a little higher up if it doesn't matter if you want to cover that or not cover it. It depends on how this is going to work. So you definitely want to make it so that it works, right? So probably like a little bit higher, like there. For me. And then your little guys, you want to use some foam adhesive. And I'm just going to take foam, and do not put it in the middle area because obviously their little tails are there. So I'm going to put some right on this bottom strip in that little ½ inch area. Right there. This is really, really thick adhesive. I'd probably go with a thinner, not so dimensional. It's very dimensional. This one. And one just under his little head. And so when this is stuck down, it should be able to pull it and not have a problem. But let me see, what did I stick? Oh, yep, exactly. So say this one's a little bit big. Let's cut that in half. Actually, I just want a smaller piece. Let's just use something like this. There we go. That ought to do it, because it's nice and flat instead of a big circle that kind of got in the other way. And only on that portion. I'm gonna have to trim that down. Obviously, I'm gonna have to trim it down. Okay, there we go. All right, let me trim this down a little bit and then we'll finish up. Okay, just trim that little piece down. And these are, see how thin this is compared to the thickness of this one? So I would use something a little bit thinner like this one for that. But it worked out. So again, just gonna put some in dimensional. And it just gives you a little lift. You don't have to put dimensional on this one if you don't want to. And that is it. You can put your little sentiment, however it is that you want to do that. And I would use 3D glue gel, but I want this to dry really quick so we can enjoy our little pull tab. Oh, that is so cute. And of course, like I said, put your sentiment wherever it is that you want to put it. Very cute. So, as far as the pens, you know, it's a inexpensive pen set. I think if you're starting out, it might be a great option for you. I think if you've been doing this for a long time, you may not have the blends or the color blends that you would want, especially if you're doing like skin tones. But I will swatch everything out for you guys. The blending, it did blend. Obviously, they blended, you know, and I don't see streaks or like anything ugly like that. So that's always a good sign, you know, like if you look at it, it's blended pretty well, you know. So that's good. So thank you so much, Arteza, for sending these for my review. I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure to check the links. That's where that obviously this information will be. There also will be a discount code there for you guys. And I'm just going to write pull on here, I think. You can make this shorter too if you want. There's all kinds of ways to use this. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick review look at that. And I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.